going to be hard to make those adjustments unless you know what the fans may want to do.
Correct. And I think again, we're going to find the right structure. We're surrounded right now by some unbelievable minds in sports. So, outside of the other co-founders, right, are former tech guys, some mobile gurus. We've got Ray Austin, who played for years with the Chicago Bears, an unbelievable guy, is one of the founders, some leaders in tech and finance. And then our advisors, our goal was to go find an advisory board who had some of the best minds in sports. So Andy Dolich is on our advisory board. He's the former CEO of the 49ers. Manish Jha, he's a former GM of ESPN and NFL Mobile. Armand Green, I'm sure you guys know Armand, right? He's the all-time leading rusher of the Green Bay Packers. Al Wilson, like a 5-time Pro Bowler with the Broncos, all-pro linebacker. Great football minds that will be trying to help us find the right structure for that, right? So we want to make sure that I think that's like one of those things that we've come up with in brainstorming sessions with all of those guys, was saying, hey, the fan coach, right, where he aggregates fan feedback and we kind of are able to come into halftime, make adjustments based on preliminary fan feedback from that first half, and we'll allow the coach, because he's got to have liberty to make those adjustments, you're right. And what that structure looks like, I think we're still kind of working through it. But fans are obviously going to have a lot of input there as well.
My question next, Patrick, is there any concern about other teams having access to the playbook? Say they buy in just to be seeing what the 6 plays are, then they can kind of adjust on their side. I mean, I'd love to say that everybody's on the up and up, but if I'm playing against Mike and I have a way to get in his playbook, that's a concern, that Mike's got to at least have in the back of his mind.
Now, you're still going to lose, Aaron. Go ahead, Patrick.
Hey, listen, we need you involved, man. It's that kind of smack talk. It's I feel like you've been to our offices. It's perfect. Let's get you involved. You're right? Like,
talk, by the way.
My man. So you're a doer?
I'm a doer. I'm not a talker.
Yeah, I'm a talker to get things done while he's trying to do it.
I think I would have come a lot more prepared with a smack if I'd have known. But no, man, that's a totally legit question. And what I can say would be access is one thing and then execution is the other. So, if they're having access and getting understanding of what the plays are doesn't mean necessarily I don't think that creates an instant lose scenario, right? Like I think we're fairly confident in the people that we're putting on the field. And then the second piece is that even if the opposing team is downloading the app, has access to the plays, and has their fans vote to do all Hail Marys or punts, first down every time, right? Just punt it away. Like their votes aren't going to count. They're not weighted for anything, right? They're new subscribers to the very first play they've ever called.
Yeah, that's your fan IQ level comes in then.
Totally, absolutely. And so you're right. There'll be some visibility that like nobody really likes. But I feel like the trade-off is that collective IQ.
Very high, and you could think that this person has a lot of weight, and they're helping you beat every other team. But then when they get to you, you know what I mean? Like, because if I'm the Green Bay Packers, I want to see dark stuff too.
Can I swear on this podcast?
I don't know. Which swear word is it?
I was just going to say that was some covert shit. I was kind of impressed by your how insidious that plan is. It's pretty good.
Hey, we've coached for a long time, so I mean it's the first thing we thought of when we thought it.
How can we get into the table? How can we beat them? And how can we help them beat everyone we want to beat? Especially if you're narrowing it down to just 6 plays, that makes it a little easier too. Absolutely.
Right. They're like suggested plays, right? But again, the fans will have access to the entire playbook and then some, right? So I think, you're absolutely correct. I love that was the first thing. Let's help them beat people that we want them to beat. It's pretty great.
Yeah, if you have people worried about you, that's even better.
Exactly.
All right, so what drew you to the IFL over maybe the AFL? I
think largely it was because look, I think that they've had some staying power. The leadership there has been great. Like I said, Mike Allshouse, the commissioner over there, embraced us kind of in a big way when we first met with them. So like, it's an interesting concept. There are a couple different types of reactions when you tell people about it. there is some kind of these old school football traditionalists that are like, instantly they're worried about the sanctity of the game. They're worried about they just can't be done, right? There are guys that are not early adopters from a technology perspective or whatever. And then then Mike came in, literally just his reception to it was he just got it, right? Like immediately. He understands that we're changing the way we interact, not just with sports, but kind of all entertainment. And people want to say it's a terrible feeling to have when everybody in the world knows that they should be running up 4th and goal, and they throw a pass and it's knocked down. It's gross. And like having that ability to interact with your team, and then consequently have a bigger ownership, not literal ownership, but like a feeling of connection and ownership over the actions of the team, we believe will be really powerful. I'm a big Lakers guy, for example, and if I had a say in what plays the Lakers called or who they were drafting or whatever, I would be all over it. And we know that not every fan's going to take advantage of all this. I mean, it might be 10% of fans give a shit about who we're recruiting or who we're scouting, but those people who do really will care and really probably know a thing or two about scouting, right? And not everybody's going to want to call plays. Not everybody's going to want to be on their device during the course of a game, but they might want to have input as to that one play, or they might want input. They certainly care about the mascot and the logo. You would not believe some of the suggestions we've gotten. My favorite to this point is the Utah Jack Mormons. If you're familiar with that term, it means a Mormon who's not exactly following the path correctly. We thought that was pretty great. So
that may not go over good up there, though.
Hey, look. So, are you guys familiar with the UK? There was they put it out to the public. Are you familiar with this boat naming contest that happened about a month and a half ago?
No.
Over in England, They had this $250,000 like marine research boat, and they put it out a vote. The general public got to vote on what its name was, and they narrowed down to a couple names, and just the public got to vote on what they named the boat. The boat ended up being named Bodie McBoatface. And I if our fans want to be, we'll call us Football McFootball Faces. That's what we're going to be. So again, it's fan run, fan driven. So it ought to be interesting to see what we come up with.
Aaron?
I hope it's that good.
Patrick, my next question is so you said like in a couple of downs, the fans will get to call this play. That was the thing with play calling. Is there any play clock issues that you foresee? And also like on-field stuff with promos and stuff, are you going to have a group that's going to do stuff like that, like giveaways and stuff like that? Are you going to have kind of a marketing department as well? Because in the IFL, a big thing is to attract fans, not only is to give them this power that I think it's great that you guys are trying this. It's something different.
Sure.
But also, like, are they going to have a say in what giveaways there are? Are you going to like auction jerseys off for the fans? You know, like what other perks, I guess, that are unnamed do you have, and how do you attack that with a marketing group?
I think that's a good question. So the perk thing, I think, so there are a ton of different really cool perks that are available, right? So there's one that we call you to lead the team out of the tunnel, right? So that's available on Indiegogo right now. So you're able to buy that deal. You're able to run on the field with the team and lead them. There's one you get to actually warm up the quarterback before the game, right? So there's all kinds of perks and ways that we want to get people involved. And from a marketing perspective, I think again we'll start building out that staff that says, hey, here are the promotions we want to run. What would be the most exciting for you? And again, the goal is to have their interaction and feedback on literally almost everything we do. So if it is kind of a themed night, one night at the Maverick Center, and it's either A, B, or C, then we'll let fans choose which one we want to get, which one we're gonna run, and then we'll go with that. Right? It'll be that theme that night. So yeah, definitely we want them involved in. And the goal is, like, again, our ethos is as much input and transparency into the team as we can. And so literally it's not going to make sense for everything, but most things where we're able to give and request kind of that fan input, we're gonna put it to a vote.
All right, we're almost to the 30 minutes. We told you we wouldn't keep you any longer than that. I really want to thank you for coming in. I can tell you this, personally from seeing it, I have doubts about it, but then again, the first time anything's ever done, it's normal to have doubts about it. And, I mean, from talking to you, I think it's got a shot to work. Before coming in, I thought it was something where every play was being called by a fan. Seems like it's not the case yet, but if everything works out that way, it could be. But if everything works out that way, no problem with it, especially if the players and coaches are on board with it. So we wish you nothing but the best of luck. Do you want to go ahead and give everybody the information where to find you guys all over social media?
Yeah, that'd be great. Again, guys, thank you so much for the time. It's exciting when I get to talk about this for the first time. I know I kind of can't stop talking, so thanks for letting me kind of hijack the show for a bit. It's been great, and hope to be able to come back soon. You can find us at FANchise on Twitter, Facebook.com/FANchise. We're at ProjectFANchise.com, and right now that goes over to the Indiegogo. And you can find me personally at P to the D's. So please tweet at me. Let me know what you thought, what you think will work, won't work, and we're excited. Again, we can't get enough of that interaction. So, again, thanks, guys, so much for having us.
All right, thanks for coming on, Patrick.
I just wanted to say real quick that, I'm on this ProjectFANchise.com. I'm looking at the app. I'm looking at the perks, and I think it's beautifully done, man. Nice job.
Yeah, I mean,
thank you very much.
It is. It looked really impressive. I mean, I didn't really check it out real in-depth until tonight. I just had some people ask me about it. I still doubt the thing, but I think it's just because I'm a football coach with letting other people call the plays. But like I said, first time you do something, everybody doubts it.
No, I get it totally, and I appreciate you saying as much because, we get a lot of people who are like, hey, great idea, and we want that kind of pushback. We know that it's an uphill battle, but like I said, we've surrounded ourselves with some really incredible guys from the technology perspective, and then we think we're kind of unparalleled from a sports knowledge perspective with Manish Jha and Andy Dolich, and like I said, Amon Green, and Ray Young being one of the founders. So I totally agree, but if any group of guys can pull this off, it's the people we've been able to put together so far.
Well, and maybe you can come back once a month and give us updates.
I'm in, and I'll come better prepared with smack next time, gentlemen.
All right. Thanks a lot, Patrick.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one. All right. That was Patrick Dees from Project FANchise. You feel any better about it now, Aaron?
Yeah, I think it's a little more clear, Mike. And like you said, anytime you try something new, people are going to talk smack and people are going to down it. And you know what? It's nobody else's idea. So good for these guys. I mean, like you said, he's got some good guys involved with it. The Amon Green and the other guys he mentioned. I think they wouldn't put their name on something if they didn't think that it could work. So I give them a lot of credit for thinking outside the box. And you know where this would work really well is in Green Bay with the Blizzard, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, because you got a lot of fans there, and let's face it, there's not a lot to do around that area at that time of year. I think it would get the fans even more involved.
Absolutely, and everybody here is a football junkie for the most part, and to give them some sort of empowerment, they'd all love to be armchair quarterbacks and armchair offensive coordinators and coaches on Mondays. They all criticize everything McCarthy does, everything everyone else does.
Yeah, but come on, Aaron. McCarthy gives them a lot of good reasons sometimes.
Well, I understand, but the bottom line is it would really go well here. And I'm surprised, honestly, that Amon, being part of the Blizzard in the past, I don't know if he's still as in touch or involved, but being part of the Blizzard, I'm surprised that he didn't bring this right here and talk to the Trinklers about it, because the owners of the Blizzard, they'd benefit from this. They really would.
Yeah, and I mean, let's face it, the people that want to rip this, how many teams do it the way everybody thinks they should do it and fail in indoor football?
Exactly.
I mean, there's not too many teams that stick around for more than a couple of years in any league anymore.
Yep. It's a financial help. It's involving more people. It's wrapping people around your organization. And, I mean, is there some kinks to work out? Absolutely. Is there some negatives about it? Absolutely. Right now. But they haven't done it yet. Give them a year or two, and if it works, what are people going to say when they're the first team ever to be a FANchise that wins a championship if that happens?
Well, not even win a championship, just to be successful. Draw 7,000, 8,000, 10,000 people a game, pack the place, and be competitive. And I mean, because this is the thing. When you go to an indoor arena football league game, it helps if the team wins. But if you can put on a good show around that, if your team's 500 or a little bit better, you're still going to draw a crowd.
Absolutely.
But, well, I thought that was a great show tonight.